Do you remember the AIDS Don't Die of Ignorance campaign?
God,
and the iceberg and that, how because I got to say I was too young. I was at school at the time as well, but people were petrified, and I know that people were if they thought you couldn't sit on the same toilet as somebody else just in case you caught this new disease.
Yeah, I think that also applied to from venereal disease as well. That it was just an extension of a sort of purity issue, I suppose.
People's paranoia.
Into that new area. Obviously, it was identified very initially as gay plague, and so it did have a very strong anti-gay element to it in the early days, until they realised that it was a general, could be transmitted heterosexually as well as through same-sex relationships, and I think people had a whole variety of different reactions to it, and I mean, even today, I think there's still a lot of people that don't practice safe sex necessarily, but I think probably a lot more do. A lot more people are aware now of their responsibilities themselves and to their partners in terms of sexual relations. But what counts as safe is different for different people. There's there's not thought to be a very high risk, for example, with oral sex, because the acids in the saliva and so on. But so some people would say, well, that's good enough for me. There's the risk is minimal there. I'd be prepared to do that. But if I wanted to do other things, then I would be safe.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the term "gay plague" in the press. I remember reading the newspapers and seeing it in there. But I think, I personally think the biggest thing that stopped people seeing it as a gay plague or a gay problem, I think, was EastEnders, when the Mark Fowler getting chucked out of the pub by Peggy Mitchell, and the whole storyline behind that, because I think that did a heck of a lot to educate people, far more so than frightening the life out of them with those big adverts in the middle 80s.